Hello guys, this is Kudo and welcome back to this 8th part of this tutorial about adding multi-language to your game. In this part I will show you how you can switch languages during the runtime on your video game. So let's get into it. So on the last part we were able to attribute our key to our text mesh pro and showing the value we want for the key we wanted. But now let's add some button in this canvas. So let's add a button text mesh pro. And this will be my button for switching in E4. So first thing, I will need to create two more scripts. So let's create the first script. It will call change language event. All right, and let's create a second script. This one called switch scene. It will allow me to switch scene. This one you don't really need it, but it's just for you for the example. Maybe some of you want to switch scene and want to know how to deal with this case. So this is why I'm creating it. So let's deal with this script right now for the switching scene. So I don't need anything of that. I need using Unity engine, so Unity engine dot scene management, and what we want to do is just create a public void on click switch unclick switch scene, and what we want to put in parameter the string name scene. So this is very basic, a basic code. You can do whatever I want. I just want to be this quick just for the example. So load scene and name scene. It doesn't really matter. It's just not the purpose of this this tutorial. Okay. So now let's head back to our localization manager, because this is here we want to manage to switch language during the runtime. Remember, we declare a boolean is try change runtime. This is what we want to use. So first thing, we need to create an enumerator, okay, and we want to name it switch language runtime, and it will take in parameter string lang choose. And basically something very easy, I just want to put a condition here. So if is try change language runtime, if this one equal to false, so like this, what we want to do, we just put is try change language runtime equal to true, and we put is file found equal to false, is ready equal to false too, and language choose, so language choose will be equal to lang choose, we put in parameter here. So right now we need to redefine our full name text file. So basically I will just take what we did during the start function. So just copy paste this, actually, like this. Okay, so basically we redefine the name text file we want, because we redefine the language choose. We need to research the text, and after we just start the coroutine if it's not finding anything or if it's finding something, etc., etc. After we put is ready to true, and what we want to do to change all the text during the runtime, we need to use we need to find all the components who got something. So what we want to do is just localization text. So we localized text, we want to create an array of it. So array text, and this array text will be equal to find object, so find object of type, and I want to look for the object with type of localization text. And yep, sorry, I forgot the S here. It will work just fine. So basically, this will find all the text in the scene who got the component localization text. And remember, in Unity, all my text got this should got this component localized text. Okay. So after we did that, what we want to do, we need to call the function specify for the text. So we want to do a for loop for int e will be equal to 0. If e is lower than array text, so array text dot length, we just want to increment the e, so e plus plus. Okay, like this. Oops. Yep. And what we want to do is just array text, and we want to choose the specific text, and we want to call attribution text. And remember, attribution text should be in public if you want to access it. Here, I can show you. This is why I put this on public. Okay, after that, what we want to do is just to put the boolean is try change language runtime equal to false, because this is finish. We need to save this. We need to create 2 more functions, and after everything is done, so we need to create a public void change language, and it will take in parameter a string lang, and simply want to call the start coroutine, because in Unity we use the button here. As you can see here is the button. We can't, when we will add an event, we can't drag and drop a coroutine. This is why I put it in a function, and what we want to do is just start coroutine, and we will call switch language runtime of lang. Okay, one last thing to do. We need to add private awake function, private void awake function, and put don't destroy unload on this game object. So this dot game object. So why we do that? Because if you change a scene between your game, we need to be able for our localization manager to switch between scene, because this is the main heart of all code, and this should be accessed in every scene. Okay, so now let's deal with the final script. So that should be change language event, so open it. So we can remove this, we don't need this, we just need to create a public, so public void, and what we want to do is on click change language runtime, and it will take in parameter a string, so string, and what string it will take the language. Okay, and in this public function, what we want to call is localization manager, so localization manager dot instance dot change language, and we take in parameter lang. So we can save this, so we don't need this too. Okay, you can remove it, right, like this. Okay, so now let's head back to Unity, and let's attribute our function, our script to our button. So let's add so change language event, and what we want to do is just to add the script to the button, change like this, and we want runtime. And what we want to put in a string is fr. You can save this, and what we want to do is just duplicate this for fr, en, es, and the German. So basically French after English, after Spanish, and the last one German, so DE. And what we want to change, do not forget to change, is fr here should be en for the English, for the Spanish should be es, and for the German should be DE. And we need to add one last button, and this last button should be switch scene. So let's call this one switch scene. And instead of calling this script, so we can remove this, we can remove the script. We want to call the script switch scene. Let's drag and drop it here. Okay, add the event, drag and drop here, switch scene, and we want to call onClick switch scene. So let's save our scene. Make sure to go on your scene and you can duplicate the scene. So mine is called JSON scene. I will duplicate this one and rename it JSON scene number 2. Okay. Go file, build setting. Let's make sure you add the good scene. Okay, let's save this. And on a switching scene, we need to call, so this should be JSON scene 2. Okay, to make sure to differentiate between scene, let's create Text Mesh Pro. And as you can see here, again, I'm telling you, I don't have any of the JSON files, so even in the runtime, it will try to retrieve all the JSON file. Okay, so let's save this. Let's hit play. And as you can see right now, it's the French JSON who is working. And as soon as we try to switch in English, so let's test it. Here we got the text who is switching in English. Same if I switch in Spanish, and same if I switching in German. It may look it take time because we don't have the JSON here, but right now if I switch, because the JSON is already created, you didn't see creating, but trust me, it's already creating. We can see the switching is much faster than the previous one. So let's test if I switch the scene. So if I switch scene, if I go on scene number 2, this is the one, we still are in English, and if I switch in Spanish or Dutch, it's still working, French too. Again, if I switch in Spanish and I come back to this scene number 1, he will keep the Spanish. Alright guys, and that will be it for the 8th part of this tutorial. Thanks for watching. So if content equal to like or user learned something equal to true, user should thumb up plus subscribe. Else, user should dislike but help me to improve. Thank you, and I'll catch you guys next time.